Got my buddy Matt's motor here. Gonna dig into this thing, and it's a B series. He had some mishap. We're gonna get it going here. I just pulled all the plugs out of the block, and I was at the machine shop, and they media blasted the outside. And like you can see, like here, right? It's like sand. So it's all in the. Let me see if I can turn my light on. Yeah, there's sand all in there. If you can see it. All in there, look at that. So we're gonna blast it out with some brake clean all this stuff out, and then we can start taking measurements and get assembling on this. So I'm gonna clean it out right now. Got done cleaning it out. Took me like 45 minutes or so to an hour of using a blowgun, and used about 5 cans of brake clean on it. Now you can see it's all clean in there. So, and there, it's all clean. Yeah, it's good now. So now I can take it home and start doing the measurements to put it together. Back in my basement doing measurements, and just showing some stuff I measured. So I measured all the main journals on the crank, which you can see this crank we had some ISO something treatment. You can see it's like polished, looks really nice. So that's pretty cool. Never done this before, but anyway, so I measured all the main journals, and here's the measurements I got, right? And then I measured all the bearing shells. As you can see, these are the bottom shells. These 4 are the same. That one's slightly thicker. These 2 are thicker. These 3 are the same and a little thinner. And then I had torqued this before, and I measured just the tunnel of each one or whatever. And this one was the tightest, so I labeled that as 0. And this is 4 thousandths bigger, or 4 tenths actually. It's not 4 thou. I mean, I'm supposed to add a 0, but it's 4 tenths. So actually, it would be like 4 zeros and then 3 zeros and a 4. I screwed up, but anyway, so 4 tenths bigger. 5 tenths bigger, 5 tenths bigger, 6 tenths bigger. So this one's the tightest, so we'll see. I don't know, we might have to do like a different bearing on this. We'll have to see what happens. But so I'm gonna just get the standard. This is the standard set. I'm gonna put it in, kind of see where our clearance is. So I'll range these based on this and these tunnel sizes. I'll kind of range them so they get as close to equal as I can, and then I'll test it. All right, so I got my clearances set up. Round 1, I did extra on all of them, and that was it. Round 2, I put standard in all these. I took out the extras, and I found smaller ones of the extras. Bring it down to 23. I thought that was good. And these, I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty good. And I thought it'd just be better if I got that a touch bigger. So then round 3, I put it in, kept those in. I got one reading different, even if it's the same bearings, but whatever. And then these on the top, so the cap's the bottom, but on the top I did a smaller shell because the jump in the size was different, or not as big. This is like 5 thou and these were like 7 thou, so I thought it'd be better to use the top ones because it's not as big of a jump when I measured them. And yeah, so I ended up getting 22 and 22 instead of 18 and 17, and then that's remained the same. It's just the thickest, I should say, the thickest extra clearance to make the clearance come down a little bit. But that would be at 2 thou, 21, 22, 22, 23. So next, next I'll put the crank in and do a test here. Okay, so because I have a standard size bearing, mixing, standard and extra clearance shell, mixing a standard and extra clearance shell, and I have them on the top, the extra clearance, which is the block side, and then the smallest extra clearance shells here for number 5. It's kind of weird. I just want to make sure that the tunnel's straight, if that makes sense. So even though I'm getting like 2 thou or just over and everything, I want to make sure that when I plastic gauge it, that it all looks right and it's not like a tunnel and everything's like wonky, like this block got warped or twisted or something from sleeves or something in the past. So as you can see, I got plastic gauge. I'm going to just plastic gauge everything and make sure everything looks good and kosher. So I'll torque the caps on and check it out. All right, done with the plastic gauge. You guys can kind of see, if we go through, they all look pretty uniform. The thickness, nothing looks out of place, right? Not sure how good this is a view. Kind of like this. But to give you an idea, they all showing like, this one's probably the easiest to get to. They're all showing a little tighter than 2 thou on the plastic gauge, but like I said, I measured, and that's right around 2 thou. It's hard to get the focus there. Yeah, it's right on 2 thou there. So, and like I said, I was measuring 2 thou and 3/10, and this is showing more like 2 thou. Everything's showing like a little tighter than what I measure, but this is, I feel, more accurate. So like the 2 thou here is measuring like on the plastic gauge like 18 or so, I'd say, if you kind of look, because here's the plastic gauge. And if I put the 2 thou up to it, it's a little bit wider, like just a touch. See that? Which would mean that it's tighter, but you can see like the 15's like definitely wider. So, but we're right in the general area. I mean, like 2 thou, 18, cutting hairs here. So yeah, it's good. I'll clean up that and the crank's ready to go in. So I'm gapping rings here. I have one of his old pistons with a oil ring, or not oil ring, a compression ring in the oil ring area. I'm trying to do this one-handed, so I kind of put this in here, push down till it butts down, right? It's against the ring. You pull it up, and now you know it's square. Then I'll measure that gap. All right, so I'm testing 21. Like, does not fit, gets stuck. And 20 thou. Here, hold on. You gotta use a little force, but it goes in. It's kind of got some tension to it. So we're at 20. So this is 20 thou right now, and I want it to do 25 on doing like 23 to 24 on the top and 25 on the second. So I got to open this up like 3 thou. So I've been doing this. I have this Total Seal ring grinder, right? And I've done this on this, and I always like to do it so I see the end up and it's always grinding from the same side, right? So I hold it tight against this and then tight down against this pull here. And then I rotate it in, right? And then I use my other hand and I lock this in, which I'm going to do now with the camera down. Now it's locked in, and I brought the guard up, and then I moved this back and forth till I just hear it touch, right? It's barely touching. And then I set the dial indicator to 0, turn it on, I'd move this to take off what I want to take off, right? Which is like 3.5, we'll say. And then I just swipe it down. And that's cut. And then I take it out. Oh, hold on. So now that I ground it, there's like burrs. And then you use this to like deburr it. But I need both hands because I got to bend. I got to like offset the ring like this and then put it on there so I don't touch this part. I got to deburr the ends. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so we're shooting for like 23, maybe 24 thou. This one is 25, you can see it there. Let's try it. And too small. Maybe it's just too big, but 24 thou. And nope, not yet. 23, see it there. And that's it. So this one at 23 thou. So I'm going to go do that for all of them. Get them like 23 or 24 on the top and like 25 on the second ring. And just make sure I got minimum gap on the oil rings. So the oil ring just has a minimum. So I got my 15. I just put it in, get it straight. Check 15 goes in, no problem. The gap's more than 15. I just check them all like that. And that's all you need to do for the oil ring. And for reference, we got the part numbers of each ring that was sent. Second ring, oil ring. Just in case we need to look back. There we go. But yeah, I got all the rings gapped, so that's good to go. They're all baggied by cylinder. And yeah, on to the next step.